Good evening, family. Once again, you are tuned in to Twitter Radio. Twid stands for That's What I Do. Family, we're going to be talking about, or actually, we're going to be doing a reaction video to Bootlicking. I'm pretty sure you know who he is. Bootlicking Jason Whitlock, as he said that Black operate in satanic culture. Well, are we the only ones that operate in satanic culture? Are you going to call out everybody else that operate in satanic culture? Or is Black culture something that you would say is all satanic culture? Nobody else's. But anyway, we know he's a bootlick. We know that. But let's break down what he says. It won't make a bit of sense, but we're still gonna, go line upon line and just check out the ignorance of this man. And it's nothing new. He's an ignorant man. Let's check him out.
World talk about this? Will any of the Cowboys treat Austin? Anybody in the sports media world talk about this?
I'm gonna rewind, family.
Anybody in the sports media world talk about this? Will any of the Cowboys treat Austin Metcalf the way the Cowboys treated George Floyd?
Jason Whitlock. George Floyd was done the way he was done by public paid servants whom we call police officers. Totally different. Totally different. And they were shown to have put their knee on his neck until he died and could no longer breathe, as he's handcuffed with his hands cuffed behind his back. So what are you trying to convey here by talking about one incident that's completely different from the next? But this is what they're all doing. Let's check it out.
Gonna knee all over the place. What's more of a tragedy?
You look, see how he acts mad. He's in character. He's acting as if, he's really bothered by this, but he's not. Because if he was really bothered by this, he would treat it accordingly. This happened with this situation. This happened with this situation. He's trying to mold it all together as if there's no difference in the young men in Frisco and the George Floyd.
George Floyd overdosing on fentanyl under the knee of Derek Chauvin.
See? Oh, so he's saying George Floyd overdosed. How am I going to, let's just hear him.
Or this 17-year-old boy, honor roll student, devout Christian, stabbed in the heart at a track meet.
So he's okay. So he's saying Austin Metcalf was a devout Christian. So if he's a devout Christian, what is a devout Christian doing, trying to physically force somebody out of a seat that don't belong to them? Is that how a devout Christian operates? You use the word devout Christian. So this is how a Christian is supposed to let his light shine, by trying to physically harass and bully somebody from a seat that doesn't belong to him. This sounds much like the KKK in their Christianity.
But no one's outraged. No, that's a misnomer. People are outraged.
Of course people are outraged. Somebody died and somebody is in jail, who both happens to be teenagers. But everybody's high jumping over the fact that the black man, the black 17-year-old, only did what he did as a self-defense mechanism. And because of that, a 17-year-old white kid died. Wonder what they would think if you did the inverse. It would be point blank self-defense. But we know this is America.
But these idolatrous are these idols that have been installed in our culture.
Everybody's culture have idols installed in their culture. So white society don't have Confederate heroes, naming of schools, monuments. What are we talking about? But he's trying to single black people, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to single us out as if we do something different, or if something that we do is different or worse than everybody else.
Let's see if they have a word to say about this. I don't think they will. Because we've seen this before.
When? When?
You remember the shows I was doing a year and a half ago about the kid Ethan Liming? The 17-year-old, I believe, high school football player in Akron, Ohio, who got beaten up and killed in the parking lot of LeBron James's I Promise school.
So what? So are you trying to say that LeBron James' school is different than all of these other? What about Uvalde? What happened? What happened with the hundreds and thousands of schools that have had mass shootings where a kid comes in and just starts shooting? Huh? But you want to call out LeBron James as if that's his personal issue, as if the school isn't worth being there because of this one incident. If you take away all the crime in every school, you wouldn't have any schools. Bootlick Jason Whitlock.
Everybody goes deathly silent when the white kid with the promising future gets killed by young black men.
Okay, so wait a minute. I don't know what happened with LeBron James, but are we still talking about Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony? Because if so, Carmelo Anthony once again was defending himself. See, you got to keep things and put things in perspective. Bootlick Jason Whitlock. You just can't get on talking as if it's as clear and as precise as you're narrating it, because it's not. We understand the truth. The truth is, in Texas, there is a rule, a law. You can stand your ground. Was he supposed to have that knife? Well, matters is that he had it. Now we got to prove for a fact that you knew what was in his mind when he stabbed this kid who physically assaulted him.
The boys that killed Ethan Liming, they got 18 months in prison. They were found.
So what are you saying? Are you this upset with George Zimmerman, who got cleared of charges? Are you this upset at the cops who killed Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland? No, you're not.
I'm not guilty of involuntary manslaughter. A dispute over someone shooting water pellets at these two young black boys.
Why were they doing that? So it sounds like this is another situation where we're minding our business and somebody starts harassing us. I don't even know about this Ohio team beating to death outside of LeBron James. But based on what you're saying, once again, black kids minding their business and they're being assaulted by white kids. And then black kids respond. And now you didn't have to respond like that. You didn't have to go. You didn't have to crash out like that. You didn't have to. It's always what you didn't have to do concerning, a black response to something that was initiated by white kids.
Turns into the death of Ethan Liming. Will anybody in the sports media world talk?
Okay, family. So much for that. But at any rate, as you can see, Jason Whitlock says that, you know, he goes on further to say that our idols, you heard him say the idols of black people is satanic. Not my idol. My idol, I had no idols. I have a Lord and Savior, Yahshua Mashiach, in the world called Jesus, who was sent by the Father, Yahuwah. That's my idol, my Savior. But let's stay on topic. Please, let's stay on topic. Why, Jason, why did this young white kid die? He died simply because he decided himself. You're saying he's a devout Christian, but this so-called devout Christian decided to do something that was not Christian-like, which was bully somebody who was minding their business. And in return, out of fear, out of despair, this young kid who's not a fighter, what did he do? He decided to respond. But before he responded, he said, hey, if you touch me, there's going to be consequences. And those consequences, unfortunately, took a life. Family, you've been tuned into Twid. Twid stands for That's What I Do. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Jason Whitlock, you shall forever be a bootlick. All praise to the Most High.